Ring Fanatics podcast, episode number 124. I am Nick, your host, and today I am not joined by Joel, but we got a special guest anyways because I wasn't going to do this alone. It is our good friend, the one, the only, the master of the syndicate, the Stack Syndicate, right? Was it the Stack Syndicate you call yourself?
Stack Syndicate, you got it right.
Exactly. MikeyStaxx, what's going on, man? Gotta acknowledge you.
Acknowledge me. I am the
Exactly.
man, the only man, MikeyStaxx. Baby, let's go. See how I mixed it up there? Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm trying something new. I like it.
Yeah. It might be some AEW fans out there mad that I did the baby at the end. You can't mix up WWE and AEW. Guess what?
Yeah.
We don't
He does
care.
it in AEW too, so he still does it.
Sure. Yeah, you're right.
But anyways, before we even get to the episode, as always, go subscribe to the Ring Fanatics YouTube channel and follow us on all of our social medias: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and the audio streaming platforms. So we're going to be talking about Money in the Bank today. Money in the Bank happened this past Saturday afternoon, Eastern time. So Mikey, what were your thoughts on the pay-per-view? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What were your thoughts?
The pay-per-view wasn't what I expected to be as far as match quality, but that London crowd is so insane. They bumped that pay-per-view from like a B plus to an A, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It was some matches, I wouldn't say lackluster, but I expected a lot more, which we're gonna get into later. But that crowd, man, is just insane, man. It just sucks. Why can't the US crowds be like this?
I know, that's what I'm thinking too. Like, they make us look bad because I'm like, they're always cheering, chanting crazy stuff, and it's like, we're never that hyped. I don't remember seeing.
I think it's because like we're so spoiled that, say if wrestling comes through your city, a premium live event, rather it's Monday, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, a pay-per-view, sometime in the near future, maybe a year from later, maybe a couple months from later, that they're going to come back.
Yeah, that is
true. The UK doesn't know when, so they got the mindset of, we don't know when we're going to have this shit again, so we got to make the most of it now.
Yeah, but like, that is true. Same with like Canada. Canada barely goes there,
right,
for WWE shows. So I get that's a good point, because I think the last time they were in the UK was like Clash last year. So I Clash at the Castle. So I was like, it's a year, almost a year, I would say. Yep. So they do deserve it, but it's like, damn, I wish I can go to London for just one wrestling pay-per-view.
Oh my god,
they're
yes,
awesome.
bro. Yes,
it's like a dream right there, going to London for a show.
It's like every person in the tennis just always cheering about something. You gotta love it.
They're hyped at the most random points too. Like, even during the worst matches, they're always doing something cool.
Exactly. Yep.
So it was a great crowd. I agree with you on that. I thought it was a good show. I thought it was not that bad. Again, I think the match qualities were a lot better than what I expected it to be.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't know, because I usually walk into every pay-per-view with like not high expectations, so that way it could blow my mind. You know what I mean?
That's true, yeah.
So I try not to be overexcited for, even though it's a stacked card. But I thought it was very good in terms of match quality. What would you say was your favorite match of the night?
Favorite match of the night by far, I would say the main event. Even though I had some problems with it, I would say the main event.
So yeah, I mean, me too. It was a great storytelling, but so it kicked off the night with Damian Priest winning the men's Money in the Bank match,
which I love, by the way. I loved it because I know we all want the megastar to win, LA Knight to win.
Yeah.
But when we get everything we want, it becomes too predictable.
That is true. Yeah, I was going to say that, yeah.
And the way they played it at the end, to me, I feel like the whole ladder match was kind of iffy, kind of botched spots. It was okay, but I would say it's not on the good spectrum of the past Money in the Bank matches we had. But the way that ending was, when LA Knight was about to get it and everybody was on their feet, they fooled the hell out of me with the camera work, because I thought he was going to win too. And the way Damian Priest shot up that ladder, choke slammed this man, literally just threw him over. LA Knight did a flip over and grabbed that briefcase. I was like, at first I was like, man, I want LA to win, but I'm like, I love this, because Damian Priest, he's not everybody's choice, but I can see in the crowd, everybody was like, okay, we could get down with it, because they didn't boo him out the building.
Yeah. So that's what I was scared of. That's what I was scared of.
Yeah. So I think if that was anybody else, they would have got booed out of the building. But just because it was Damian Priest, and we love the work that Damian Priest does, it's like, it's not who we wanted to win. We're okay with it though.
Yeah, and he deserves it too. Like, look what the year he's had. Like, Joel and I say this all the time. Like, he's one of the few call-ups that wasn't like he's been consistently good since his call up.
And that's the main thing, consistency. I feel like a
Consistently.
lot of the other guys like Nakamura has come and gone, come and gone.
Yeah.
Those is not ready yet. LA Knight, while I love LA Knight, he hasn't been on the main roster that long.
Exactly. He hasn't done much either. And I'm like, I to your point before when you said like it was too predictable, I agree with that to where like this ladder match was kind of like set up to where I was like we said, I wasn't mad that Damian Priest won it.
Right.
And I wanted it to be that way. Because if let's say if someone else won it and I'd be like, fuck, this sucks. I would have ruined the whole thing. You know, I didn't want to get my hopes up with LA Knight. I wanted LA Knight to win too, but it was like, I'm not mad at Damian because he deserves it too. And it's like
Yes.
he deserves that's the main key. He deserves it. And like if he didn't deserve it, then I'll be like, okay, this is the poorest choice you could possibly done. But he deserved it. I mean, he's been working
And
on it.
what he also showed was in the when he was in the mid card scene with the US titles, he had some great matches for that US championship with Sheamus and Jeff Hardy and things of that nature. So he showed he can carry a championship somewhat. I haven't seen LA Knight do that yet. The only championship he had was what, NXT, the $1 million championship.
Yeah, for a little
come
bit.
on, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that he can't hold a championship, but I have to see it. Because sometimes what WWE fans would do, as soon as we get what we want, we flip.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? On the most unexpected people. So I'm really glad with the choice that they went with Damian Priest. I'm really happy. It was a curveball. It was a curveball.
Yeah, it was because like you said, like, there was a spot where I was like, oh, he's definitely winning it. But then once he didn't, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I'm not mad, but I wasn't expecting it. I was like, oh damn. But the thing is though, people are saying that like he's buried. I hate that word buried. Like he's gonna be fine. LA Knight's gonna be fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like Sami Zayn when he lost to Roman, he's still over. Cody when he lost to Roman, he's still over. LA Knight, if he didn't win the Money in the Bank, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be given opportunity after opportunity, and he's gonna kill it. People are still gonna be cheering the biggest pop ever when he comes out. So I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine.
And it's up to WWE to put him in the right storylines and the right opportunities to where he can excel. You can't put him in meaningless storylines. No matter how good you are, you need a good storyline, especially after this Money in the Bank loss, where it's kind of deflating that he didn't win, but he's still so special. Throw him in the mid card scene. Throw him against Theory. Do something with him that's still of relevance. Don't have him do this and then go and feud with Santos Escobar. That means nothing right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's how they start losing momentum. And he's too special for you to make him lose momentum. He got to have a good story. Like I said, maybe throw him in the mid card scene for the U.S. title against Theory. Do something with him that's going to get him back up. You know what I mean?
I think that would be the best bet to put him in is the mid card scene because Theory is not doing anything right now
at all.
And it's like at this point, just take the title off him, man. I love Theory, but like if you're just gonna throw him out there and not have any plan for him, take the title off him, build him up a different way. So that way, and give it to LA Knight. That would be a perfect way to, if he wins the US title, we get to see him more often on a television screen.
Yep.
And the more we see him, the more people are going to chant for him, the more we're going to cheer him. He's still going to be fine. He's still going to be over. So, I just think like when I saw people saying like, oh, he's going to be buried, he's going to be treated poorly, that kind of ticked me off a little bit because I'm like, he'll be fine.
Yeah,
he will be
and
fine.
WWE realizes how over he is.
Yeah, it's not that they don't.
Yeah, they're not going to bear him at all. So
and
it's not
Triple
like.
H, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's not like they're just gonna. To me, especially like you said with Triple H know how special these guys are.
Exactly.
Of course, Triple H doesn't want things to be too predictable, but to say that he's going to be buried after this, absolutely no way in hell.
Because Triple H said at the press conference right after that, like, good things come to those who wait. And I'm like, that's so true. That is so true. I'm like, I'd rather wait to see what happens with LA Knight instead of just giving him the Money in the Bank right now and not knowing what to do.
And like you said earlier, that too. People got to understand timing, right?
Exactly.
So people were mad, like when we go back last year when Austin Theory won it. Of course, you don't want somebody like LA Knight to win and Roman's still holding the championship to WrestleMania. And you got Seth, who you don't want to take off the title right now. So now he's just holding it. Or they might have to do a failed cash in, or he do something for like the US. He cashed in on the US title, which to me is lame. If you have the Money in the Bank, you need to go for a world title. I don't want to see you cash in on the U.S. title. That mid card title. That's absurd to me. But anyway, back to what I was.
Yeah,
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say like, go ahead. You
My
go.
fault. You go. I think
I was
the
gonna
same
say
thing.
like,
Yeah.
I liked how they had Theory. I like the idea of having to cash in on the mid card championship. It's different. Is it smart in terms of like storytelling? Not really, because if you're the Money in the Bank winner, you don't want to cash in on the U.S. championship, right? You want the main gold. That's the point of being in the company, is the main gold. So, like I said, although I do find it kind of like different in a good way, it's stupid, man. And if you're gonna have Theory cash in last year, at least have him win it instead of failing to cash in for the mid card championship to make him look more weak than usual. That's not smart. And I feel like they would have done the same thing with LA Knight, to where like you said, you explained it best, because it's like the timing is the most important thing, because if you're just gonna have him win and be like, oh, you're gonna wait and see what happens. It's not the best time, because Damian Priest, him and the Judgment Day are in a perfect storyline to where he can cash in at any point, whether it's against Seth or Finn. It'll be a great opportunity when that time comes to cash it in. That would be a big moment for Damian, to him to win the world title, and I wouldn't be mad at that either.
Yeah.
And because that makes sense. The story was what I think, in my opinion, was the reason why they gave it to him, not just because he deserved it, because of the place that he was in storyline purposes. Because he can cash it in on Finn if Finn ends up getting another opportunity down the line, because that could happen. I think there might be some chaos in between.
Which I think needs to be at SummerSlam.
Oh yeah,
because if he cashes in at SummerSlam, because to me, these cash-ins, as much, it'll be unpredictable to do it at B tier pay-per-views, but to have the cash in at Survivor Series or SummerSlam or Rumble, or like Royal Rumble, in these big pay-per-views where you're gonna get that big pop, to me, that's the best place to do it. And like you said, especially against Finn, imagine Finn and Seth Rollins, they have their rematch at SummerSlam, which to me, their match wasn't all that I expected it to be. We'll get to that later. But to have him cash in on Finn, if Finn does win it at SummerSlam, man, that would be absurd.
But I do love a good unexpected cash in, though.
That is true.
I do love when it's like happens out of nowhere, like, oh shit, they come into the ring, and then it's like at a random Raw or SmackDown. It's like, damn, that was.
But that I love. But sometimes they'll do it like at a B tier pay per view, where he's just gonna run out, but he's not cashing it in. So now it's just like.
But they do tease it sometimes, which I also love to see, because it's like, oh, like at Money in the Bank when Damian almost tried to cash in during the match. I'm like, oh shit, is he gonna do it now? But then it was like, nah, he's kind of waiting a little bit, which is also cool. Next match was, I believe, the Women's Tag Team Championships, when Liv and Raquel won titles back. What were your thoughts on that match? Because I know you were messaging me during that match, like, oh shit, Shayna Baszler just turned.
Yeah, like, so that was that. I thought that was gonna be my restroom break match. That's where I thought I was gonna get me a plate of food to eat for the rest of the show, But I started watching. I said, I'm gonna give this match 2 minutes. If it can have me hooked in 2 minutes, I'll watch the whole thing. And surprisingly, before the turn, I kind of liked the chemistry between Ronda and Shayna. Ronda looked at to me, that was one of Ronda's best matches that she's had since she joined WWE.
Yeah,
I saw less mistakes than usual. I saw her timing was a little bit better, selling was a little bit better, everything was better. So I'm like, okay, Shayna and Ronda, they're gonna win this. They're gonna make these titles relevant some way, somehow, I think. And then boom, Shayna flips. And at first I was like, huh?
Yeah, me too. I was like, what's
but happening? Then my fingers did this, and I was like, yes, Shayna. I've been wanting to see NXT Shayna for the longest time. She don't have to be a heel, but I just want that ruthless, straightforward Shayna Baszler that we deserved on the main roster, that we need on the main roster.
That turn caught me off guard.
Completely off guard.
Because I'm like, because there was a point I was like, oh, this is a great match so far. It's okay, not the best, but not that bad. And I'm like,
exactly.
I really thought Shayna and Ronda were going to retain it. Because I get it, Liv and Raquel didn't technically lose it. But it's like I thought Shayna and Ronda were going to retain it and hold on maybe for just a little bit longer. But then I saw Shayna just all of a sudden attacking Ronda. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And then I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like so confused. I'm like, is this supposed to happen? Or what's going on? Then after Raw, I was like, Shayna cut a promo on Ronda where it was like everyone was cheering for her. I'm like, what?
Destroyed
She,
Ronda, by the way.
she literally said what every fan was thinking in their minds. And it was like she just went in on Ronda. And I'm
In.
glad this feud is happening. I don't care who's the babyface, who's the heel. This is going to be an amazing feud down the line. I hope, my prediction, and I hope that this match happens not only at SummerSlam, but I hope it happens in what was that match called? The Fight Pit match?
Yeah, Fight Pit. Yep.
Fight Pit. I hope it ends in there. And I know I read reports that Ronda may be leaving.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but I hope she stays for a little bit longer so we can get a War Games match.
Oh.
Like it's Team Ronda versus Team Shayna.
Yeah.
That'll probably be top off the feud right there, and then like maybe have Ronda leave. But it's like as long as it gets to that point, I'll be happy. I that'll probably be the best thing so far because I kind of want that to happen.
Yeah, agree. I saw the report saying that she was supposed to be leaving by late summer 2023. So
Oh,
hopefully that's not true. But I
yeah,
think what they wanted was for Ronda to be the babyface. But when
they did.
Shayna came out that Monday night, they cheered for her. So now
Yeah,
I'm interested to see, all right, are they going to flip this thing? Is Shayna going to be the baby
I think they're
face?
gonna flip it. I think because again, I think the way Triple H books is like I think he reads the room and he knows what to like if he saw he must have obviously he knows that the crowd was cheering for Shayna. If they're cheering for Shayna, he's probably gonna make her a babyface. Because
Yeah.
guess what? I think next week when Shayna comes back on Raw, people are going to start cheering for her again and start booing for Ronda. So if I were
Yeah.
Triple H, I would flip the switch right now, make Shayna the babyface, and she should win the feud, right? If Ronda's leaving, because it wouldn't
Yeah.
make sense for Ronda to walk out with a
Absolutely have
loss.
to win this feud. But the only thing I don't wish is for, even though she's a baby face, I still want her to have that straightforward, ruthless personality.
I think
Kind
they
of,
can switch her back to heel though. Sorry, I didn't
yeah,
mean to cut you off.
yeah, but kind of like how they kind of did with Kevin Owens. Remember when Kevin Owens was at NXT? He had that heel, I don't
Yes.
give a damn type of attitude. It was straightforward. I'm coming straight
Yeah.
for you. But when he became face, it kind of got reeled back a little bit because you got to play the crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just hope they don't do that to her. I think they're going to keep her a baby face for this, and then I think they're going to eventually turn her back heel because I think she's just a heel at nature. Her
Yeah.
personality is heel at nature, but the WWE universe hate Ronda so much that she has no choice but to be a face in this feud.
I think after this past Monday with Shayna's promo, it was like I think she can easily draw in the crowd
Oh
to
yes,
become a good babyface. So I think for the time, it doesn't. She doesn't have to be a permanent babyface, but as
yeah,
long as in the time being where she's feuding with Ronda, she could probably carry this feud where people can cheer her on every episode, people can get behind her. Then once this feud's done, back to heel Shayna when she's just wrecking shit. Like when she first got called up to the main roster,
yes,
that's the Shayna that I want to see
yes,
because again this whole like MMA versus MMA fighter. If it happens at a fight pit, if they do end up going to war games, then we get to see the ruthless side of Shayna that we all used to love in NXT,
mm.
and that's what I hope should happen. Again, I would be that mad if they didn't do war games with them too, but if it does, that'd be like the cherry on top of the feud, and I wouldn't be mad at that. But the
and
fight pit's also a good option if they just stick with that.
I think with Ronda, just have her be on some Brock Lesnar type shit before she go out. Just have
Yeah,
her show up. Don't put her on the mic. That's
yeah.
not her strong suit. Have her show up and wreck stuff. You know what I
What do
mean?
you?
Like,
Yeah,
don't make her talk. Don't make her talk at all. Just, or if you do, make her talk
yeah,
very little, and just have her just build up that presence. Like, okay, Ronda's here. It's about to go down.
yeah,
And that's what they should have been doing since she got there, but they kept trying to force her on the mic, and that's not who she was. To me, her best run was when she was with Charlotte and Becky, right? Because
yeah,
Charlotte and Becky was the one talking. When Ronda showed up, Ronda was looking for a fight.
yeah.
That's how she should have been this entire time. And I hope she goes back to that.
And Shayna is the perfect feud to end her off with too. Someone that she's
Yes.
known for a long ass time. They probably know each other like the back of their hand. You know, they probably know how like their fighting styles work. They can bounce off each other. Shayna probably has trained with her multiple times throughout their wrestling and UFC career, so I think this would probably make Ronda look good before she leaves.
Yeah.
Um, and then probably give Shayna a slight edge if she does end up coming out on top within the last match. So I think this is the perfect person to do so. Again, I was shocked when she actually turned. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because Joel was the one that told me about the reports during a prediction episode, but I didn't believe him.
I
I
didn't
was like,
even
there's
see
no.
none. That I think
Yeah,
that's
me
what got me.
neither.
I didn't, usually when you see when a turn is about to happen, you'll see reports from weeks just leading on to it. I
Yeah,
haven't seen that one thing from any YouTubers or on any
exactly.
blogs, any websites. I haven't seen anything
And they haven't even teased it during the feud. I thought it was
at
like they're
all.
just buddy buddy, and then
And
like all of a sudden it
they
happens. I'm
just
like,
won what the tag team. They
like
just
a
won
month
a tag
ago.
team unification match. Remember they
Like,
had beat
yeah,
Dawn and yeah, whatever
prior,
that tag
yeah,
team is called. I think what the night before, the week before, and
yeah,
everything was clicking
recently.
smooth.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
I'm like, I thought they were. That's why I thought they were gonna win, and I'm like, oh, there's no way they're gonna lose it now. But I get why they gave the titles back to them because they never lost
they
it.
never lost. Yeah,
Yeah. So I respect the decision, but it's like, wow, that caught me so off guard. I was like, what the fuck? I was trying to text you back. I'm like, what the hell's happening? I'm like, I don't even remember.
yeah,
Oh, but
that,
like that, I'm at least they're trying though with the women's tag team division, which I also like.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not the biggest fan of it, but they're trying with it
You know
because
what I
they
told you?
have,
I think they should just put in a women's mid card title. That's
yeah,
conversation for another day. But yeah,
yeah, it's a whole different topic, but
yeah,
like at least they're doing something with it. You know, it's not the best booking, but they're trying.
yeah.
You know, they have tag teams that are clicking well together. They have multiple on the main roster now that you think about it. A few on NXT that are building up. So yeah, it may not be the best booking. I know there's like here and there's a couple of title changes that aren't that long, but you have the tag teams and they're putting in the effort into making it something as opposed to like last year where like you put two random people together and then break up the next
And
month.
that's what they have to
Yeah.
stop doing. Like,
Yeah.
if they just keep these tag team around for us to get a connection with, like, you can't have Liv Morgan and Raquel win it, and then as soon as they lose, Raquel turns on Liv. Now
Exactly.
you don't have a tag team. Now you have to make a whole new one to replace the tag team you just lost. Now we're starting at zero again.
But
And it,
yeah, I
yeah,
agree
go
with
ahead.
that.
Yeah.
Because my favorite tag team other than Liv and Raquel is Sonya and Chelsea Green. They are clicking very well.
Yes.
Every time they're out there, they're always doing good. Their characters are amazing. They have the chemistry, so much it makes it much better. Um, and they were a team that I thought were like I wasn't gonna be a fan of at first, but then
Me neither.
every week they came out into the ring and did their things, and they're like, I'm a fan of them now. I'm they're great. They're just both great in the ring, great on the mic. Their characters are developing, so I'm glad they're number one contenders. But it
Yeah.
sucks that they're getting it now because it's like Liv and Raquel just won it.
Yeah. So
You know what I
we
mean?
know it will be a shocker if they dropped it, but I don't think they're going to drop it anytime soon.
Yeah, they deserve a lengthy title reign since they didn't get the first one.
Yeah.
Technically, they didn't lose the first time around.
Yeah.
So give them a lengthy title reign.
Yeah.
Um, the next match was the women's Money in the Bank. Io Sky won. Were you rooting for Io Sky to win it?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I feel like Damage Control, as much as I love Bailey, as much as I love Dakota Kai, as much as I love Io Sky, they should have been done. In my
yeah,
opinion, Io Sky is ready for that main event push. She has been a main event star in NXT,
hmm
and the crowd love her in NXT. I think the crowd will absolutely love her in the main event scene or in the main title scene in the women's division.
yeah,
Here too, whether she catches in on Oscar or Rhea Ripley, who I really think she needs to be in the feud with Rhea Ripley because they have nothing for her right now other than fighting Natalia on a random Raw.
yeah,
So I think Oscar got her own thing going on with Charlotte and Bianca. You could run that feud for a good bit, right?
yeah.
Rhea needs something ASAP because you got Becky Lynch over there, but she's feuding with Trish
Trish,
Stratus.
yeah.
Yeah, so you got Becky distracted. You don't really have nobody else over there right now. Send Io to Raw, have her keep teasing Rhea. Let's get that build up going. Then boom, you got magic.
That would be cool because like I think Bailey's definitely turning soon though.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Or EO, one of them is going to turn soon. I sense it coming. I feel like a lot of fans are too. Um, the thing is that I like the ending when she handcuffed Becky and Bailey together and climbed
Oh
up. That was
yes, I
beautiful.
loved it. Loved
That
it.
was a great spot, great ending.
Cinematic.
Exactly. I thought that would have been the end of like the relationship between them two, but then apparently they're still like buddy buddy. They're still
Yeah.
going at it, which is
Which was
weird.
weird to me, which is weird because
Yeah,
literally right before that happened, Bailey pushed Io off the ladder.
exactly.
So I was like, okay, so this is where the turn is happening. I knew Io was gonna win just based off that spot alone, but I was like, okay, Io might win, but Bailey's gonna turn right here. But when I saw
Yeah,
like I think like that next Monday or somewhere right after that, where I saw
I think it was a post press conference that happened right
yeah,
after.
and they were
Yeah,
sitting side by side. I'm like, okay, this
yeah.
is
This is
this is
weird.
pretty weird. Yeah,
And then like I think Io might be the one to turn on Bailey because I think Bailey's like distracted because she's like playing that like role where like she thinks she won it because she's partnered with Io, I guess. So I think that like Bailey's like kind of gonna be a little bit blindsided that Io might turn eventually. She's not gonna see it coming. I think
yeah.
they're gonna feud first, and then eventually at some point after, Io is gonna cash in
I
on
think it's
somebody.
gonna be other way around. I think it's gonna be the other way for the simple fact right now, especially if you have the titles on Oscar, who's heel right now, which I think she's heel because she just came off that feud with Bianca. Now she's in with Charlotte, which I
Yeah,
think is gonna be leading to a triple threat. And then you have Rhea, who's also heel.
yeah,
So right now, I can't see Io being a heel as well. One, her mic skills aren't that well to carry that heel work.
yeah. But she's done it in NXT a few times,
That is
so
true too.
yeah,
But I feel like with NXT, due to a smaller crowd and less time, I think it's easier to get away with. Look at Nakamura, for example.
yeah,
But then when he got to the main roster, it's harder because now you have to talk for these lengthy segments, these backstage segments, and
yeah,
it's harder for because a heel have to carry the feud with the talking. Well,
yeah.
most if you're a good heel, you should be able to. So
That is true.
I feel like Io as a baby face, and plus Bailey's a natural heel too. Bailey has played great as a heel. So I think
Yeah,
Io, especially with her high flying style of wrestling, will also really fit as a baby face.
yeah. That is true. I
Especially
mean,
with the
like,
two champions being heel as well.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I do think Io should cash in on Rhea. That way, they could send her over to Raw and be like a full time Raw superstar and kind of split up damage control a little
Yeah.
bit. So that way, it's not like we see months worth of feuding between the two.
Yeah.
Um,
I know.
because I feel like that would definitely be something they would do is like have them turn on each other and then just feud for months, leading to nothing. But I think she should cash in on Rhea to give Rhea more of competition over on Raw
I
because
think
they
both
got
need to go to
nothing.
Raw, honestly.
I think so. Maybe, yeah. If they could somehow figure out a way to trade Bailey over to Raw, maybe.
Yeah.
Because like again, if Io cashes in on Rhea and she wins the title, that's automatically a transfer over to Raw because that's the Raw belt.
Right.
Um, but like I don't know. I think that like, Io as a babyface, she doesn't have to say much to get the crowd over.
Right.
Because Asuka's done it. Asuka, like she doesn't say much either. She doesn't speak perfect English, but every time she talks, people are like over with her.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Now with the whole like mist thing that she does, she still does not talk much either, but like she's just like her actions, I guess, speak for her if that makes sense. Because
Yes.
her doing the mist, people there's oh shit, she just cheated to win. That's all she has to do to get the crowd to hate her. She doesn't say much. But I do think Io, even though she doesn't know much of English, I think her what she can do right now is probably better, the best that they could do for her. As a babyface. The crowd loves her already. The crowd when she won it already cheered the roof off the place. So I just let her do her thing as a babyface. I do agree with that. She
Yeah.
shouldn't be a heel really, but I'm glad she won. I'm happy for that. At least they gave somebody a win that we were kind of expecting to happen.
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
think she was also a crowd favorite to win.
Because I knew
But
Becky wasn't going to win it because of the feud she got with Trish. I
yeah,
I thought Bailey would have had a small chance, but something just told me Io was going to grab that briefcase.
yeah. I low key wanted Zelina to win too because I'm like they've been kind of treating her well as of late. You know,
Yeah,
but she's had a great year too, though, and I
she
hope down the
has.
line she'll get a title shot again and win it this time because her just backlash alone speaks for it, and her performance at Money in the Bank was insane.
The
That
only thing I
spot
hate
with
about that backlash match, it was too short. It
Yeah,
was that Puerto Rico crowd was insane.
yeah,
That match was extremely too short. So
it was.
I do hope she do get another championship match.
I do, yeah, and gosh, she's like Damien. I would say the Damien Priest in the women's division. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She may not be getting a lot of wins, but she's putting like the division on her back right now. One of
yeah,
the people that are putting the division on her back, not the single person, but she's carrying the division in some way, shape, or form. And I think down the line, she's either winning the Rumble, winning a number one contenders match for Mania, something. Give her something. She's been killing
yeah,
it. And
yeah.
LWO needs more wins. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely.
They're like, I don't even know what they're trying to do with them right now.
And
I don't.
I don't understand why they're not building up Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild.
Yeah,
The tag team division,
it's
even
stacked.
with Kevin and Sammy holding the titles, is more open right now than when the Usos had it.
Oh
So
yeah,
now this is your time to start building up these tag teams to have threats for Sammy and Kevin to face. I don't know why they haven't been getting given no type of TV time.
I saw on social media where like, and I kind of agreed with where like I think they're just trying to present LWO as more of like a brand type of thing more than actual on-air talent because they're selling a lot of merch.
And that's
They're selling a
true.
lot.
But how long is that going to last if
Exactly.
you
That's what I
don't
was.
give the people something? It's like, okay, yeah, we got on this LW shirt, but what the hell has LWO done? You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So
Exactly. You
now
could sell
instead of
out their shirts as much as you want, but if they're not doing anything, you may not sell out more.
they're gonna, yeah. So by the next year, everybody don't forgot about them because they haven't been doing anything. Yeah, Santos been in spots, but Santos hasn't won really anything. He's been losing a lot as well.
But then you
So
have Ray, and everyone loves Ray. You know what I mean? I don't know
yeah,
a single person that hates Ray Mysterio. So I think it's like just give them bigger spots, give her bigger, storylines. At least give someone in that group a championship. Doesn't have to be right away, but like, put them in bigger spots throughout the year.
yeah,
Maybe people will love them more
yeah.
and actually want to wear them. Because like I said, I feel like as a vet, they're treating them as like a brand. That's it.
Really, really, a brand that already been happening in the past. You're trying to
Exactly.
revive a brand, but you're not showing off the talent,
Exactly. If you're
and
gonna,
it has a lot of talent in it, which is crazy.
I bought the shirt because they brought it back, but like, if you want me to wear it, I gotta like see something from them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like put a little bit of pride behind it, man. Like,
Exactly.
come
Exactly.
on.
I just want to waste my money to wear it.
Yeah,
Um. So like, yeah, I fuck with Zelina. I hope she gets something big coming in the future because she deserves that shit, man. She's been
she
killing
do.
it.
She been
Another
killing it
match.
for years. People don't realize she been killing it for
Yeah,
years, man.
because people only recognize Alina as the manager for Andrade, and it's like she's been wrestling a long time before
Time,
that. So it's
yes,
like
yes,
she's this is now getting recognized, and I hope y'all keep cheering for her and like put her out there more. I want to see
something.
her win. I want to
Yeah,
see her win. Um, the World Heavyweight Championship match. Oh no, no, before that, Gunther versus Riddle. Drew McIntyre came back. What are your thoughts on that?
I know people are gonna hate me for this. I am so fucking tired of Riddle. And it's not Riddle's fault. They
Yeah,
keep putting him in these filler type of spots where, yeah, we don't want him to win, but he's strong enough to make the champion or whoever we want to win look strong. And it's
yeah,
like, I'm sick and tired of it because you're putting him in spots like, okay, against Gunther. I know 100% sure Riddle was not winning that match.
yeah.
Or let's say on Monday night or Friday night, okay, these guys need a tag team partner. Who we gonna throw at them? Riddle. If Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn need a tag team partner, who we gonna throw at them? Riddle. If Cody
Riddle.
Rhodes
Yeah,
need a tag team partner, who we gonna throw at them? Riddle. I'm tired of these filler spots. Riddle. I just had to get that off.
yeah.
For the match itself, I expected a little bit more from it. It
Me
was
too.
good. It was good for what we got, but it was like for two wrestlers who's very physical. I thought it was gonna be just a tad bit more. I really
Yeah,
did.
I thought it was gonna be like I didn't have much high of a expectation for the pay per view, but like I kind of expected to be as physical as the Sheamus and Gunther match from last year.
Something like that. Yes.
Yeah, because like you said, they were both two physical men. They're in the UK. Gunther's from there. People love Gunther there. So I thought something, you have some sort of big ass match. But I get it. Like if they were planning to have Drew McIntyre come back, then maybe you don't want to have the return overshadow the match, I guess.
Yeah.
So I get why they didn't go all in for that. Um, I was surprised that Drew McIntyre came back during that match. After that match,
Yeah, I
I
was
for
surprised too.
I for sure thought that he was probably going to come out after Seth versus Finn, because I get why they had to have him come out for Gunther, because Gunther is the heel. Drew McIntyre would have been the baby face. They're in the UK. They would have cheered for him. But like, I thought they were gonna have him come out after the Seth Finn match and kind of pull like a 2019 Sasha Banks. So remember
But
when Sasha Banks returned and they cheated her and then she turned heel the same
yep,
night? I
yep.
thought they were gonna pull that. I was like, that would have been
But
cool to set up for
I
SummerSlam.
knew that wasn't gonna happen the minute Damian Priest won, because I knew they were going to drag that out instead of bringing Drew McIntyre. Now, if LA Knight would have won, then I would have believed, okay, Drew McIntyre was probably going to come out after the Seth versus Finn. But as soon as I saw Damian Priest win that, I'm like, okay, Drew McIntyre is not coming back for Seth and Finn. Not right now. I didn't
Yeah,
expect him to come back at all, which I should have expected because it was in the UK, but I didn't
yeah,
expect him to come back at all. So I was shocked, and I am hyped as hell for that feud with
me
Gunther.
too. Me too.
That if they have a match at SummerSlam, oh my god, it's gonna be just like Sheamus and Gunther, maybe even better. Maybe
Probably,
even
yeah.
better.
Their WrestleMania match was awesome in the triple threat, and I was
Oh
like, damn,
yes,
because you could
match of
tell
the year caliber. Match of the year
yeah,
caliber.
they could tell they had the chemistry there, and I'm like, if they can have a one-on-one match, then if Sheamus and Gunther can have a great one-on-one match and they can have a great triple threat match, I wonder how good this match could happen at SummerSlam between Drew
Yes,
and Gunther. That'd be amazing.
and
I
give
kind of
them the
feel
time.
like
Just give them the time. No interruptions. Just give them the time. And I want you guys to listen. Drew McIntyre's chop is arguably just as loud as Gunther's. I want y'all to watch the
yeah.
WrestleMania match. His chop is just as loud and powerful as Gunther. I cannot wait to see that chop off between them. Go
What,
ahead. I'm sorry.
what is it that Biggie says? Big meaty men slap meat.
Yeah.
That, that's
That's
what
exactly what it's going to be.
we're all gonna hear is slapping the entire match. Not even.
Yeah, and I'll be fine with that. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
They just chop each other. I'll be fine with that.
Whoever just passes out first wins. But yeah, I think that the reason why they're giving to this, and I'm not mad at it either. I think it's because like they probably wanted to have Drew win the IC title so that way he stays a little bit longer in the company. Um, I'm not mad at that. I would rather have Drew McIntyre take the title off of Gunther than anybody else, to be honest.
It's believable.
Yeah, it's believable. But again, like I feel like that's the reason why they gave him, the return now, so they could say, hey, if you stay with us for the company, we'll give you the IC title and we can have you be the one to beat Gunther for it. I believe he's almost passing Honky Tonk Man. I always forget when he's doing it because they've been teasing that for weeks now. I'm like, oh, he's gonna
Yeah.
pass Honky Tonk Man. Like, when is it gonna happen? I don't know. So if as long as he passes him, I don't care when he loses it. To be honest, I love Gunther. My favorite right now in WWE. But like, if you lose the McIntyre, I'll be fine. I'll be cool, awesome.
What if Drew takes it off of him, especially at SummerSlam? What that's telling me is they're ready to put Gunther in that main event scene.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And if Cody doesn't go for that World Heavyweight Championship, say if he goes back to try to finish the story with Roman, Gunther's winning that thing at WrestleMania.
Oh, for sure.
I'm telling you now, Gunther is going to win that championship at WrestleMania.
He should.
Yeah, right. He should. And I think, and I don't want to, go too far in the future. I think he should win the Royal Rumble this year. Like I said, especially if you do take the title off of him, the IC title off of him, just to push him in that main event scene. But yeah, Drew is believable. I didn't expect Riddle to take it off. I did expect Riddle to have a better match with Gunther.
Yeah,
but
me too.
I was excited for
you probably wouldn't want the return to overshadow the
yeah.
match. That's why I feel like that. But for the terms of the Royal Rumble, I do see Gunther winning it too.
Yeah.
But I kind of see it going down as Cody and Gunther being the last two again. To see like, oh shit, is Gunther going to win it again this time, or is Cody going to win it again? And I'm like, that would be like a great final two again for next year's the Royal Rumble match.
Yeah.
Cena returned at Money in the Bank, which is so unexpected.
Really unexpected, especially with it being in the UK. Absolutely unexpected.
Yeah, because in that full segment with Grayson Waller, you told me that you never seen him before, and I'm like, this guy's a great talker.
I've seen him in spots, but it was like, I thought he was just another Theory. I'm like, he looks just like Theory, so it's like, I never got behind him.
I get it, but he's good though. He's talented.
He is. And hearing him talk with Cena, because I realized Cena didn't talk a lot. And if Cena doesn't talk that much, that means Cena's listening.
Yeah.
And I think what Waller was doing was Waller was carrying the flow of that promo so well. And everything
Yeah.
flowed together. He knew how to get the crowd into it. He knew how to get the crowd booing. And I was like, okay, I'm watching you now, Grayson Waller. I didn't know who
Yeah.
you was before, but you on my radar now. Because if his match work can back up what he do on the mic, we're gonna have a star on our hands.
I think Grayson Waller is great in the ring. I've seen his matches before. I think he's in my opinion, I think he's very underrated in the ring. And I hope that Grayson Waller does get this match against Cena eventually, because that would make him big. I know Austin Theory had the pin at Mania, but that didn't do anything for him
Yeah,
after
Theory
that.
blew it. Theory
Yeah.
absolutely blew it.
So if they can book it better this time with Grayson Waller beating Cena, if it happens at SummerSlam, they gotta capitalize on that ASAP. Because like I
Yeah.
said, they didn't do anything with Theory after he beat Cena at Mania. I forgot he held the United States Championship at times, and it's like, Jesus, yeah, you have a just don't do it with Grayson Waller if this is the match heading into Mania, because you don't want to mess this up again for a second time in a row. If anything, that might I get it. John Cena's great and he's a Hall of Famer, but like that means that Cena can't carry anything too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then you have like that's gonna look bad for Cena too for having a second star not being
But
pushed after a
at
match with him.
this point, it's not for Cena to carry. At this point,
Yeah,
we have to look at, like, at the end of that feud, we didn't look at John not carrying. We looked at Theory not being able to carry yet. He's
yeah,
young, so he has time.
exactly.
So I think what John is saying or John is doing is like, yo, use me to propel you. I'm giving you the platform. It's up to you, which I think Grayson Waller, about me listening to him talk, I think he would do way better than Theory. Theory can't talk right now. He
Yeah,
cannot. I'm sorry to say he's very dull on the mic, amazing in ring, but
yeah.
very dull on the mic, and he keep having these cheap wins. If Grayson Waller could get a clean win over John Cena, oh my god. I think the sky's gonna be the limit for him.
Not just a clean win, but like I feel like with Theory, it's like again they had him like say that he beat Cena once in a promo, then just like went on to a different feud after that. But like if they're trying to do a Grayson Waller, I would give Cena one more shot to do it. Like have like Cena want to come back to beat Grayson Waller. That's
Yeah,
how bad he beat Cena. That Cena wants to come back and beat a young guy. You don't hear that often. You know what I mean?
right.
Usually you see the younger guy try to beat the veterans in the company, be like, yeah, I want to beat you. I want to make sure I'm better than you. You don't see that with a veteran with a young guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I feel like that would be an interesting story if Grayson Waller beats Cena at SummerSlam and then Cena comes back and be like, yo, I want a rematch. You're good. I want to beat you this time. And maybe Grayson Waller beats him again. That way it's like shit. Cena called you out and you still lost? Damn. But I
yeah,
think that should be like a great twist to the Grayson Waller and Cena story. Just to make that, you know, I want to come back and beat you this time.
yeah.
That'll be a
Absolutely.
great story if that happens.
But I say clean wins matter because with the U.S. title right now, the U.S. title match coming up on SmackDown tomorrow, it's Sheamus versus Theory.
Yeah.
With no distractions, with no help from Pretty Deadly, do you believe Theory can beat Sheamus
Um
the way he's booked right now?
I say 50-50.
You
I
really
say
think
50
so?
50 because it's like I think he can beat him, but it's like at the same time I feel like he does rely too much on distractions to win. Um, but I think he might just end up winning anyway somehow, shape or form. Um, maybe like I'm thinking my prediction for that. I know we're not talking about prediction for SmackDown, but like I say
Yeah.
that just throwing this out there, Pete Dunne turned on Sheamus. Like, that's unexpected.
Oh yeah.
Um, because like again, we're expecting Pretty Deadly or some heel to come out and distract, and help Austin Theory, but like we haven't really seen Pete Dunne with the Brawling Brutes in quite some time. He's been doing his own thing for the Money in the Bank ladder match, but like, what if he comes out and like just like he thinks he's gonna help Sheamus, but he's gonna attack Sheamus and help Theory, and it's like, oh shoot, and then he wants to do his own thing. He's now at Pete Dunne again, as Pete Dunne again, Get to see the Bruiserweight come out every week, attack Sheamus. That's his next feud, and Sheamus' next feud.
See, but right there, what you just did was you wasn't focused on Theory. You focused on Sheamus and his storyline. What I'm saying is right there, Theory just haven't booked enough attention to be like, okay, I want to see what Theory's doing next. I want to see what Theory's doing next. I want to see what Theory's doing
But I
next.
feel like they haven't really done that in a while. I feel like they have no idea what to do with Theory.
And that's what I'm saying. So
yeah,
I think, and then like I said, it goes back to, is it believable? Can he beat anybody? So if you keep having these times where he got to keep cheating to win, keep cheating to win, keep cheating to win, you're going to run out of ideas, and then it don't become believable anymore. Now it's just like, okay, let's see what distractions coming out this week. Let's see what distractions coming out this week.
And
I don't know. I think heels got to have clean wins every now to make them more believe. Like I believe Rhea Ripley can win on her own. I believe Finn can win on his own. I believe Damian Priest can win on his own. Now, would they have time? Would they have help time to time? Of course. Yeah. But these heels are so presentable. Like, okay, anybody they face, I believe they can beat them one-on-one. I don't get that from Theory yet. I don't get that from him.
That is true. That is true. I feel like he could at some point. What I think they should do with Theory, I kind of want to see him by himself, but I think that they should just put him in the leader of a faction. Just try that out so that he has help. Even though I don't think he needs it, I mean, it's something to give him. If he needs the help during a match, be like, hey, have one of the two guys come out and distract and help him win. Again, like you said, he doesn't need it from time to time, but like just have him have backup so that way he has something with him.
Yeah.
Instead of just like calling on a random heel backstage, yo, go out there and attack.
Yeah, like where the fuck did Pretty Deadly come from? What did that have to do with anything? You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's like it's a random trio. I like it, but it's random to where like why them three? You know what I mean?
No previous connection in NXT or anything. That Pretty Deadly personality is completely different from Austin Theory. So it's like, what the hell did this come from? But yeah, back on track. But yeah, I just back to the Grayson Waller John Cena thing. I love the promo. I was really blown away from Grayson Waller's promo work. I was not expecting that, to the point where Cena was like, okay, I could kick back this segment and let this kid talk.
I wasn't even expecting him to come out. Like, not just John Cena, but I was expecting Grayson Waller to come out and confront him too. Because Cena was talking about Mania in London, and I'm like, yes, please.
Hell
yes.
Yeah, I'm so down with that. So down. I might have to go to that.
I was so focused on that to where like I saw Grayson Waller, I'm like, oh, this is where they're doing with this now. Now I know why Cena's out here for that. But yeah, I thought the whole thing was a great surprise. Added like a great bathroom break. No, not bathroom break. It was a great interaction, but like it calmed down the crowd a little bit. They just had the Money in the Bank matches. You wouldn't want to like continue the flow and have everybody tired out by a certain point,
especially by the main event.
Yeah. So I thought it was a great interaction, great part of the show. The World Heavyweight Championship, Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. I know you said you had some things to get off your chest about this. I'm gonna let you take the floor. Say what you want to say.
I'm not mad at the ending.
Yeah.
But damn, that match was just something was missing that I wanted. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if it was the pacing was a little bit too slow or something off. Something was off with that match that I really thought was going to make it a banger. It wasn't a bad match by any stretch of the means. It was not bad. The ending was good, I would say. I kind of like Damian Priest teasing them.
Yeah.
But something was off with that match. And I'm watching and I'm like, okay, this is a good match so far, but I'm waiting for something. I'm waiting for them to do something to take me over. Like, oh my God, like this match is unbelievable. I've never had that moment within the match yet. So it's just like, and then by the time I was waiting on it, Damian Priest then came out. I'm like, well, we about to go ahead and wrap this up. I see. So I don't know. I can't explain it, but that match was just, like I said, good. It was 3-star, 4-star, but I was expecting a 5-star out of him.
Yeah. I guess like the whole Damian Priest coming out and just like trying to tease the cash in right now kind of like threw me off in a way.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I get it. He's Mr. Money in the Bank. It's the World Heavyweight Championship match. You got to start teasing the cash in at some point. But it's like, I don't know if it's the best time to. We all know he's not going to do it. We all know it's not going to happen with Finn. It's like, but then I guess the whole like them, butting heads and like, oh, I don't trust you. I don't trust you either now. Blah blah blah. And the whole thing that happened on Raw. It's like I get now what they're trying to do, but it's like you didn't need to have him to come out now.
And yeah, I think to build on what you're saying, when Damien came out, that took the unpredictability away, right?
Yeah,
Because before Damien came out, it was like, okay, do Finn win this? Because maybe Damian Priest did win Money in the Bank earlier, so Finn might win, and then Damien might come out after, or Seth might win, then Damien come out. But when you have him come out before the finish, now it's like, okay, I see what he's gonna do. Finn's gonna get distracted. Seth's gonna capitalize.
yeah.
That's the end. You basically wrote the end before it happened. You know what I
My
mean?
original prediction was that like I thought Finn was actually going to win it, but then Damien was going to cash in right after, so that way he has another championship reign that was less than 24 hours.
Oh, I
And
didn't
they
even
could
think about that.
continue.
That would have been good. That would have been hella
Yeah, I
good.
thought that's what
Yeah.
was going to happen. It's like, oh shit, what if he does cash in and he wins it? Does he like? But that would have been a great like way to start Damien's feud. But like again, you don't want to have him cash in the same night and just forget the build up with this cash and stuff.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like you would want to have Damian Priest teasing a cash in here and there. I
Yeah.
do predict though, I do think that Damian Priest is eventually going to leave Judgment Day.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
what I think also is that I think Damian Priest would also be a great leader of Judgment Day and kick out Finn. That would make him a big star if he had a group behind Damian instead of Finn. Because if you think about it, Damian was the original pick for this Judgment Day with Edge,
Yeah.
so it
He
would
was
be
the
cool
first
if like
member. Yep.
yeah. So I think it would be cool to like make it a full circle to where now Damian's now the leader, and then he has his people with because he's close to Rhea and Dominic in real life, so that makes sense to have him lead those people since they're a lot younger than him, and then you know just lead the next group of people up there because that makes sense. Like he's, and I know Finn's been wrestling for a while too, so they're two like the veterans of the group, I
Yeah.
guess. But if you kick out Finn, that makes Damien a bigger star, and then like having have his own group just make him feel more important than what he already is. That'll be a
And
great start to his solo's
what
career.
I think is going to happen, Damien's going to kick out Finn, and how Finn been recruiting JD McDonough. JD is going to
Yeah,
take Finn's spot because it makes no sense
hmm
if you
that's true.
take out Priest and then you replace Priest with JD McDonough because you lost your powerhouse and then you replace him with a technician. But
Yeah,
if you lose a technician in Finn and then you replace him with a younger technician in JD McDonough, now it makes sense because JD McDonough is basically just a younger Finn Balor.
yeah,
You know
because
what I
people are
mean?
expect. Yeah, that is true. I think people are expecting JD McDonough to be alongside Finn because I think they Finn Balor trained JD McDonough or they're close friends or something like that.
Yeah.
But like, I think that would be a great plot twist if like JD McDonough just replaces, like you said, replaces Finn. That'd be a great thing to do. Also, you know what I mean? It benefits all four of them. It would suck for Finn Balor too because it's like, damn, now he's back by himself.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen with Finn now? You know what I mean? Because it's like I feel like for a while it's like they brought him back down to NXT. He found his footing again. He came back. They didn't know what to do with him. They put him in Judgment Day.
But
They took him a
I would
while.
say now that we have another title, because when he did come back up to the main roster, it was peak Roman. We know
Yeah,
Roman was not losing that thing for another year or two. So
yeah,
it's peak Roman. So, but now we have Roman could be losing his titles pretty soon.
yeah,
And we have this new World Heavyweight Championship that, let's be real, we could see 3 or 4 guys take this off of Seth by the next couple of months.
yeah,
So now if you do
yeah.
turn him back face and you make him that main event type of caliber he was, say back in 2016, is more believable now.
That is true. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that
So
is true.
I think he would thrive as a baby face if he were to be kicked out now, just because of how open it is. Even if he were to go for like say the US or Intercontinental Championship. Say if Drew gets it and he go after Drew, or if he decides to go after Theory or LA Knight, whoever gets the US title. I think it's just more interesting and more open than how it was a couple years when he came up as a baby face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think because now that Triple H is in charge, I think if let's say Finn Balor does go by himself again at some point, I think he would know how to book Finn properly. Because I
Right.
feel like for a while under Vince, like Finn didn't know. I think they didn't know how to work with Finn. Triple H does know how to work with Finn. We've been seeing an improvement of Judgment Day since Triple H took over, and I kind of like that now. So if you put, let's say, if like Damian Priest does kick out Finn and he becomes the new leader, Finn could definitely thrive at some point. You just have to have that animosity, like, oh, Finn got kicked out. We got to build him up now. He's got to work his way to beat off 4 of the guys, well, 3 in Rhea. Um, So I guess like if the way they build him up to be a solo babyface, I think they can make that work and
Yeah,
probably be better off this time instead of sending him back down to NXT for a third time and working his way back up. Like, nah, he got it. He has it. Just I think
yeah,
he's been improved in terms of like people like him and building up a character.
yeah,
So I feel like for a while it was like he just I don't even know how to explain Finn. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like when
He
he
just
first started, like
he
you
came
barely
out. He
heard
was
him on the mic.
yeah. He was a phenomenal talent. You're right. I really can't remember that many Finn Balor promos.
Exactly.
That is like that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to
Yeah.
come in, coup de grace somebody and leave. But
Exactly. Like his he may not have seen him on the mic, but his ring work is what sparked everyone.
yeah,
He
he
would put
carried. Yeah,
on banger of matches on NXT, and it's like now I want to see him on the main roster. Now we have him on the main roster.
but
It's like, what?
now is with Triple H running it, Finn might be a little bit more comfortable talking on
Yeah,
the mic because
because that's what
with
that's
Vince watching, Vince is like, I can't say the wrong thing or I might be done.
yeah,
You know what I mean? My push could be over just by saying the wrong thing. But
that's
now
what
I
I
feel
think
like
is
wrestlers are more
happening.
relaxed with Triple H.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think is happening. I think he's more comfortable on the mic and comfortable in general, just being out there.
Yes.
Now that I think about it, now I think he's more comfortable. That's
Having
what
more
it's
fun.
happening.
It looked like he's having this is the most fun I've seen Finn have in a while in WWE.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? I would say the past couple years, especially since he got called back up from NXT that second time, it's
yeah.
like okay, I'm showing up to work. I'm putting on the performance, but it's like I'm not feeling it.
I
But
think that's why
now,
he went down to NXT. I think that's why he
right,
went back
and
down
that's
there.
exactly why
Yeah,
because Triple H was running it at the time, and
yeah,
Triple H let him be him.
exactly,
So
exactly.
you know what I mean? Yeah, I think Finn would thrive as a baby face. I don't think it'll make sense for Damian Priest to become one right now. I think like you said, he should run it. He should run Judgment Day, especially
Yeah,
because he was the OG member that Edge picked. So yeah,
yeah. I mess with that. I don't know. I kind of feel like this whole Damian Priest now Money in the Bank winner. I'm excited to see where this goes. Will he turn on Finn? Will Finn turn on him? We don't know. That's also
yeah,
like a story that we have to wait and watch it unfold. It may be like a Bloodline storyline 2.0. It may get to that point. Who knows?
yeah.
Speak of the Bloodline, the main event between the Bloodline Civil War. You have a lot to say about that too. You know, you really wanted to come on here and talk about the main event. The floor is
Okay.
yours again.
Do you want to see? Do you want to see the true wrestling side first, or do you want to see the Roman Reigns fan side first? I'll let you pick.
Oh, I would say the Roman Reigns side, fan side first.
The Usos. That's all I gotta say. The Usos. He shouldn't have gotten pinned. Now I'm just gonna speak real wrestling. Honestly,
Yeah.
I know people love Jay Uso pinning him. I don't know. I feel like he shouldn't have gotten pinned at Money in the Bank.
I personally don't mind it. I mean, like, yeah, I get why people are mad at that, but it's like you also got to remember that like Solo got pinned at Night of Champions. Would
I
you want
mean,
to have him get pinned again?
yeah,
Because
because it's Solo
I mean, because in my
versus
opinion, I think if Solo got pinned, that's not going to add to the story, right? Because if you have
yeah.
Roman get pinned, it's like, oh shoot, Jay just pinned him after
But
3 years of not getting pinned.
let me tell you why it would have though. So let's say if it was Solo that did get pinned, we know Solo's going to turn on Roman, right?
Yeah,
So
eventually.
matter of fact, I'll give you an example. When Kevin Owens and John Cena beat Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns, who did Roman Reigns blame for that loss? He blamed Sami Zayn.
Yeah,
I didn't get pinned. Sami got pinned. Now just imagine, right? Roman doesn't get pinned. Solo get pinned that next Friday or the Friday after that. I didn't lose. Solo lost. Now that's making Solo give him the side eye like, whoa, let's slow down here.
yeah,
Then now you can say, Jay, you didn't beat me. You beat him. Now it's like, okay, you can set up that 1v1. Then I would have had Jay pin Roman Reigns there. Cause I don't know. I
I
feel
think
like it was just too early. I feel like at SummerSlam, it should have been that one-on-one where
yeah.
Jay should have beat him on his own.
I mean, yeah, that is true. But I don't know because I feel like they're waiting a little bit longer just to have that Solo turn. Because I see where you
Think
just
so?
yeah. Because I understand your point with having Solo getting pinned again, but it's like I think the story is still I still am invested heavily in the storyline
Oh yeah, me too.
regardless.
Yeah, me too.
And I wonder what's gonna happen at SummerSlam, but like if they just keep it going a little bit longer, maybe we get to see more out of this at SummerSlam. Maybe this is not the end at SummerSlam. Maybe Solo turns at some point after when it's unexpected. Because again, the way I'm looking at it right now, I don't know if Solo's going to turn on Roman at all anytime soon. It may not happen.
Yeah, probably not anytime soon. But and I'm just spitballing here. What's going to happen is Solo's going to turn on every damn body.
That's what me too. I was just saying the same
Everybody,
thing.
because and I don't know if y'all caught this, but there was a moment in the match where remember Solo did that Simone Spike / Roman Reigns spear.
Yeah.
The Usos kicked out. Roman Reigns is on the ground. I don't know what to do. And Solo looked at him like,
yeah,
yo, we got a job to do. Get up.
yeah.
I think what's going to happen is, okay, he's too emotional to be the tribal chief. Roman Reigns is too emotional. The Usos are not fit. I have to be the one to take over. And he's just going to turn on everybody. That's what I want to happen at SummerSlam. I'm not going to lie. I want that to happen. I want him to turn on Roman. The crowd pops. Yeah. Usos. Yeah, we got our brother back. And he takes that thumb and he just spiked the hell out of the Usos too.
Yeah.
That's how you build a monster. That's how you start off a monster.
Maybe like that's how the match ends at SummerSlam, where like let's say if we all thinking that like, Roman's gonna pin Solo cleanly this time, what if like Solo just turns on Roman, like you said, thinking that he's gonna join the Usos, and that's when Solo just does a Samoan spike, and then Solo is the one that takes the title off of Roman at some point. That's how you build up the feud. But like I do agree because it doesn't seem like Solo is on either side. That's what I'm getting the vibe from him. I don't think right now he's on Roman's side, yeah, but like I think eventually when he turns, he's not going to be on either side. He's going to be on his own side by himself because that's how he's been built up. I don't know if you saw him in NXT, but like when he first debuted on NXT, he was brought up as this guy who basically was fighting like I don't know about physically fighting, but like trying to get to WWE by himself.
Yeah, on his own. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's how he should be treated if he turns on Roman. He shouldn't be paired with the Usos. He shouldn't be paired with Roman. He's by himself. Maybe Paul Heyman turns on Roman as well. Maybe that's how you ride him off for a little bit. Then have Paul Heyman join Solo and have him be the enforcer.
And that's what needs to. If they do go this route, I'm not saying they are, but if they do go this route, don't have Solo talk. Have Paul Heyman. Because I don't. And then we also got to realize when Solo had his matches, who's out there with him? Paul Heyman.
Yeah, Paul Heyman.
Every single match. When the Usos faced, or when the Usos had a match, Paul Heyman wasn't out there.
Yeah.
Solo was out there with Paul Heyman. So now you can look at. So say SummerSlam happens. Jay pins Roman, right? Roman goes to Paul Heyman. Hey, give me my titles, whatever. Give me my titles. And Paul Heyman's hesitant, like, no. So now Roman Reigns turn around into a Samoan spike.
Yeah.
And then now that's where everything unfolds. My only problem is that since it happened at SummerSlam, what are you going to do for the rest of the year building up this story?
I think you would have to start off with like maybe do Jay or Jimmy versus Solo for a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know like I do think that Solo should be the one to take it off of Roman.
You do?
I do. I do think he deserves that because that would be unexpected. One, two, it'll make Solo feel dominant. Like although Jay got the pin on Roman, Solo was the one that beat him in a singles match for the titles, which I think would be now at this point the bigger story is who's going to take the titles off of Roman as opposed to who's going to pin Roman. Because Roman can turn around and say, "Hey, I still have my titles. I've been champ for 1,000+ days. Now who's going to take the titles off me? No one can." And then Solo is going to be built up to where he's going to be the one to do it. Maybe at SummerSlam, Roman retains. That's where we see Paul Heyman turn on Roman.
And that's what I want. That's exactly what I want. Yep.
And then that's where you build the story up to where like Solo's always been by himself. He hates being with people. You cost him the match at Money in the Bank. Now he's by himself. He does things his own way. And that's how you build up this future star and have him beat Roman.
Yeah. I completely agree, especially, but they are going to do that. I do think, like you said, they need to put him in a feud with Jimmy and Jay to build up Solo. Because if you do that, we don't know if Solo is exactly main event ready yet, right?
Yeah.
But if you put him in the feud with Jay and Jimmy, who also going to teach him as they go, now we can see, okay, is Solo ready for this? Especially with Paul Heyman, Solo's ready for this. If he is ready for this, let's push him against Roman. If he's not ready for this, let's slow down. Let's give him some more feuds. Let him learn, and then you can push him into the main event seat. But I honestly think it's going to be Cody that takes the title off of Roman.
I think so too. I mean, I hate to think about it. I mean, I love Cody, but it's like, are they going to stretch it out a little bit longer for Mania next year?
And that's what I don't want. I want Cody to win. I wouldn't mind it, but it's like now we got to go the whole second half of 2023, as well as the beginning of 2024, waiting for that match to happen. Exactly. You know what I mean? And I was like, so what are we doing? Especially with this bloodline story happening now. Are you going to be able to drag it this long?
Exactly. Because once this whole bloodline thing ends, it's like, now what? What are you going to do with Roman in the meantime? Just have him chill and just do nothing? So I think this feud, I personally think this feud with the bloodline deserves a Mania spot. Yes. But the only thing is like, can they drag that story on a little bit longer too? Because I think there's going to be a point to where people are going to give up on this storyline and be like, oh, this is going on for too long.
And that's why that's why I was shocked they did it this early. I thought they was going to wait to do it like on the road to WrestleMania next season. For Roman to get pinned, right? No, just this whole bloodline storyline in whole, because like I said, it's too early right now. So you can't have this drag on for too long, because now people will be like, all right. Yeah. It's only so many times you can have Roman versus Jay or Roman versus the Usos, and then Solo. I don't know. I think it's just too early right now to really see. I don't know how they're going to drag it out this long. I do think it's going to be Cody that take the titles off, but I want Solo to do it. I really, really want Solo. Just give me that Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar type of vibe, man. Yeah. Like that presence. Like I don't have to say a word, but you already know what I'm all about. You know what I mean? Like,
and especially if Paul Heyman does align with him,
my,
that'd be dangerous, bro.
And then Paul Heyman could come back to his spot because he doesn't really talk that much with Roman.
Yeah, he does. Roman does a little talking with that.
Yeah, he sits back and he's like, "Okay, I'll introduce the Tribal Chief, but I'll let the Tribal Chief talk." Now he could get back to where he was with Brock Lesnar, hyping him up, doing all this. It's not a spoiler. It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler, whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now we get to see the OG Paul Heyman back.
Exactly.
It's just so many wins. You know what I mean? So many wins coming out. And then the Usos going to be the Usos. The Usos doesn't need... Jay Uso don't, in my opinion, doesn't need a WWE title. He's over right now. He's over. The Usos are over. The Usos going to be the Usos. They never put on bad matches. The Usos are going to be the Usos.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not like worried about them. I'm just worried about like how long this bloodline storyline is going to go on for. Because we could only be cheering for the Usos, booing Roman for so long. And cheering, if you're a Roman fan, you could be cheering for his title reign for another 1,000 days. But there's going to be a point to where, like we said, there's going to be a point to where we're going to get bored of this and be like, can we just end it already? I want to see Roman versus this person, Solo versus that person, Usos versus this person, this tag team, or whatever. But I just feel like it's going to end soon. We all know that Roman's might going to win if his plan is to go against Cody at Mania. And then it's like, I said, I do think this storyline deserves a Mania spot over Roman versus Cody, in my opinion. Whether it's against Solo or Jimmy or Jay, it deserves a grand finish at Mania, like how Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens win their tag belts. It's that type of moment.
It is
to where that deserves. That's like ending it at Mania. In my opinion, is like winning the Oscars. It's like, you deserve this. You put on a great performance the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Here's your moment. You guys did great. You main evented it. Awesome.
But what was so great about the Sami Zayn turn was they started hinting it around December.
Yeah.
He officially turned at Rumble. Yeah. Which means you only had to drag it out for 3 months, right? Now, as opposed to if it ends at SummerSlam and you guys do it a little bit more, say if it ends around September or October, now you got to drag it for November, December,
January,
February, March, then April. That's 7 months that you have to drag it out for, opposed to when you only had to drag it out for 3 with Sammy. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be interesting. But for the match itself, it was good. I feel like it was a bit too drawn out in the sense of Roman was talking a tad bit too much. It was really, really slow paced. I feel like we should have had more fast-paced action from the jump, but I can see them wanting to, build a cinematic storyline within the match. I get that, but it was drawn out way too long.
I think the reason why they went on too long was because I think they were just drawing with the crowd. Because
Yeah,
Roman was engaging with the crowd like almost the entire time when he was on the other side of the rope. And I'm like, it is cool because the London crowd was sharing a lot of great things. I heard like, sit down if you hate Roman, stand up if you hate Roman, or one
yeah,
shoe off,
yep,
stuff like that. I'm like, that's cool. It's pretty funny. But it's like, I agree with you. I do think it did go on for too long. It should have been a little bit of a shorter match. Maybe they were trying to like fill in time or something, but like it didn't really deserve. I'm not saying that's a bad word, but like they didn't need to go on for
yeah,
that long.
for that long. Yeah,
Deserving is a different meaning. I didn't mean to say deserve, but like it didn't need to go on for that long. I would say like maybe shave off 5 minutes and you're fine. But it was slow at some points. The
yeah,
kickouts were cool when Roman pinned both of them and they both kicked out. That was a great spot.
yeah. Great spot.
Um,
Yes.
and then like you said, the whole like Samoan spike and spear at the same time, that was awesome. And then like how the Usos threw Solo with the announce table, everything was just great. But it was just there were a lot of slow moments during that match. I was like, pick it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or if you are gonna make it that long, it has to be faster paced.
Yeah,
So it has to
yeah,
keep being nonstop, 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 nonstop. You know what I mean? You
exactly.
can't have it too drawn out, and we're just looking at Solo headbutting Jimmy for 10 minutes. Like, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? That's what it felt like. I'm
yeah,
like, okay, Solo and Jimmy, Solo's just stomping them or just
yeah.
headbutting them, and it's like, no,
Samoan spiking him.
I want to see the Usos super kicks. I want to see some flying around. I want to see Roman drive-bys
Yeah,
and Superman punches. Like, come on, give me
yeah.
something. Y'all, and we got that a little bit towards the end, but it took too long to get there. And it was like,
That is true.
and I even had like my family watch. They don't really watch wrestling, but they're invested in the Bloodline story. And
Yeah,
it's like they're just waiting. Like I seen it in their face. They're just waiting. Like, okay,
like hurry up.
give me something. Yeah,
Yeah,
give me something. It was just like that's when I knew. When I seen them watching it, and they were just like, oh, come on.
yeah.
It was just like, yeah, it's too drawn out. It's too long. It's too
It
long.
is. It was, but it was still. I still enjoyed it at some parts. It just went on for too long,
Yeah,
you know. But
can't
it
wait
was a
for
great.
tomorrow too.
Yeah, SmackDown's going to be great. I'm really
Yeah,
curious to see what happens there.
yeah.
What else are your thoughts on the pay per view as a whole? What
Did we
else do
talk
you have?
about Dominic versus Cody?
You did not. I forgot about that. I forgot about
Okay,
that match
I'll
because
brief up.
I don't have much to say about that match. It was like
Yeah, I was
nothing
about to say
really.
I'll brief up on that. That match, I didn't expect it to be all that, but it was still a little bit worse than what I thought it was gonna be.
Hmm.
Dominic, I like the whole cheap heel thing. I love
Yeah,
that he's booed, but they made Dominic seem too much of a coward like that in that match.
yeah,
It's like he didn't have no real believable offense. It was like, okay, I'll hit Cody, I'll roll out the ring, Cody will chase me. It just seemed
yeah.
like Cody dominated the entire match, which
It
usually
did.
with a face, the face doesn't usually dominate the whole match. It's usually
Yeah,
carried by the heel, and then the face have that comeback. But it was just like,
I
then I
guess they
thought,
needed something to like for something that Cody to do, and then to prepare for Brock's return. I guess
yeah, and I
so. They
didn't
just
mind
gave
the
him
match at
Dom.
all. I just thought Dom was gonna look a little bit better.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? This
a
was
little
the
bit
time to like,
stronger. Yeah,
yeah, to really push Dom. Like, we all hate Dom on the mic, but we
yeah.
don't really hate him in the ring yet. This
That
would
is
have been the
true. That is
great
a good point.
time. And I don't know why they didn't put. I didn't know why Brock Lesnar didn't show up.
I
If
guess because like they didn't want like Cena's return or McIntyre's return to overshadow it. I guess.
to hell
So they
with
just
that. Bring out all the stars. It's
yeah,
UK. To hell with that. You know what
exactly.
I mean? So it's just, and then it would have been a great excuse for Dominic to win, right? You give
Yeah,
an excuse for Dominic to win, keep building that heel heat. Cody
yeah.
would have lost, it would have been understandable. And
He
you
just still has
building
to
towards
finish the
that summer,
story.
yeah. So and then you build towards the feud towards SummerSlam. It would have
Yeah,
all made sense.
it
But
did. Yeah,
I don't know why. I didn't think Cody was going to win that. I thought Brock was going to come out, screw Cody. Dominic was
yeah,
going to get the win. It would have been a win-win for everybody, literally.
yeah. So it didn't even last that long either. I was like, by the time it started, I was like, I went to the bathroom. I came back. I was like halfway over.
And
What the
literally
fuck?
half of the match was Dominic running away. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it
Or Rhea
really.
Ripley stepping in and just like, come on,
Yeah,
Dom, give me something.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, it wasn't. I wasn't expecting it to be that big of a match anyway, so I wasn't really like too hyped about it.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I mean that was like a great, like I guess that was the bathroom break match for most
But I
people.
didn't want it. I really wanted Dom to be like, okay, I'm here.
Yeah,
I really wanted
exactly.
that for him. I wanted, could we need a really good heel right now that gets booed, not a heel that gets faced. I mean, not a heel
Yeah,
that gets cheered, but we need a heel that gets booed and that is good in ring. That's what I wanted. But
That is true.
Maybe Dom gonna have another chance. He's young, and people still hate him. So
he got time. Don't worry.
Yeah, he got a lot of time. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Money in the Bank was an okay. I would rate it like an 8.5 out of 10, 9 out of 10 at most. It was a great pay-per-view. Most of it was pretty. I was on my feet most of the time, so it was a great pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But that was all the matches. Do you want your I want to say thank you for Mikey for coming on.
Of course.
Great time talking about Money in the Bank. Definitely got to have you back on as always. You're always welcome here at the Ring Fanatics channel. Do you want to plug yourself in so that people can follow you and find your platforms?
Oh yeah, follow me at MikeyStaxx on YouTube. I do gaming content, review content on wrestling, anything to do with wrestling. Your boy does, as well as on TikTok at MikeyStaxx and on Instagram as MikeyStaxx Omega. And that'll be it, brother.
Perfect. So before we even end the episode, we are doing a giveaway on our Instagram. We hit 800 followers. So if you want to be a part of the giveaway, go check our Instagram. The details are in our latest post. We posted it. When this episode comes out, it'll be Thursday, yesterday, that we released the giveaway. Check that out. As always, subscribe to us, subscribe to Mikey. And again, this has been episode number 124 of the Ring Fanatics podcast, and we will see you guys next time.